In order to be able to cook a week of meals in bulk, or to be able to cook in bulk, you need to have a plan. And from that plan, you might be working with a recipe, but then you create a list, and that's your grocery list. And then you go out and you get your groceries. If you are really busy, get your groceries delivered. I want to explain one thing: the grocery bill. Okay, let's do an unpack. Are you ready to sharpen up for this program? So I want to go through my plan for this week and the how I think about this plan, how I come to my conclusions about what it is I'm going to do, and why. Every week is different. We've got different things going on in our schedule, different commitments. Sometimes it depends on what you have in your fridge. Like maybe I cooked on a Saturday, but we were extra hungry, or we didn't go out, and so there was no food left on Thursday. Maybe that food lasted all the way until the following Saturday, and then I cooked on the Sunday. Maybe I've got a couple of clients in the day, and there's just no way that I can actually fit in a 3-hour bulk cook. I'm going to stage my cooking into 2 parts today. I actually thought I was going to do it into 3 parts. I'm going to show you one of the simplest ways to prepare cauliflower. So you've got your head of cauliflower, you've got all the greens on the bottom here. Sometimes there's a lot more, but with a sharp knife, a chef knife, I have like a 10-inch chef knife here that I've had since cooking school for the last 30 years. You could also use a more pointy knife, like a boning knife, because that can be really helpful to get into the cauliflower and remove the core. Carefully holding the cauliflower with your knife pointing down so that it would be below the hand. Like you don't want to be cutting and pointing upwards so it could go into your hand, right? Make sure you've got a good grip on the cauliflower. And then I'm just making a few incisions downward, and I might just pull it apart with my hands here. Look at the size of this one compared to this one. When we're cooking, we want things to be pretty close to the average size of everything else. Otherwise, this one might not cook as fast as this one. So, I usually use a lemon or a lime as some nice liquid that just brings out the flavor of the carrots. It's just a little bit more something. And I'm just gonna pour that over. I'm now going to drizzle over a little bit of olive oil. I think I'm going to use olive oil on most of the stuff today. Not too much salt, just a little bit across everything. Turmeric. There are so many really easy, fast ways of preparing chicken. 100% of the time I am cooking chicken in the oven. I will either do it on a baking sheets like this with parchment paper, or I will do it in a Pyrex dish if I'm doing more liquid or I'm doing some sort of a sauce. I might make a sauce from scratch. Something I've been doing lately that's really delicious is like some very, very hot Caribbean pepper sauce. Like I'm talking half of a teaspoon mixed with a little bit of mayonnaise and peanut butter and olive oil and salt and pepper, and I mix that together, and then I coat the chicken breasts, and it's delicious. I've just taken the chicken out of the oven. It looks beautiful. This is very tender and it smells really delicious. So what's left in the oven are the carrots, the cauliflower, and the pork tenderloin. What I've done is moved things around in the oven. On the top, I now have the carrots, because if they stay on the bottom shelf for too long, they're probably going to get burnt just because they're thin. Now, I do want them to get some browning, but they were on the bottom shelf until I just took the chicken out. I may have to check in about 10 minutes to really give the cauliflower a good toss to make sure that it's not catching and burning on one section. The potatoes are now on the oven, and they're going to be coming to a boil. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make something that I find relatively easy to make, a cabbage salad. It's one of those great dishes that you could be preparing while other things are in the oven, if you're able to manage the workload of all those different things happening at the same time. Or it's something that you could be doing midweek. You're running out of vegetables, make a really huge container of a cabbage salad. There's lots of great recipes online for this. I've just concocted something out of my head, and I vary it every single time between a regular head of cabbage or the Savoy cabbage, which is a little bit more crinkly, or a red cabbage. Usually carrots are a great addition, and then if you want to add any other kind of vegetable, like I was saying, like a kale, chop up really finely a fennel or an anise root bulb as well. All those things bring different flavor. What makes it sweet for me is primarily an apple. I do not add sugar. Most recipes call for it. I think it's absolutely unnecessary. So I'm going to show you one of my favorite methods for meal preparation. This is a 6-quart slow cooker. Whatever I cook in there, if I fill it up all of the way, for my partner and I, two healthy guys who are very fit, 8 to 10 servings. So when I use the slow cooker, the crock pot, I tend to make more of a stew. Something that is an all-in meal. It's heavy on the vegetables, it's got a protein, some sort of a meat. It usually has some sort of a smart carbohydrate, and that's something that's more of a vegetable source or a bean that provides more fullness, more satiety. I have stewing beef. So I have 1.4 kilograms, almost 3 pounds of stewing beef. 8 portions of that divided by 3 pounds, that's a decent amount of meat per person. It's not too much.